Welcome to the video podcast. My name is Florence Straka, sharing with you my life experiences, blogging as a business, inspiration, and mindset. In today's episode, I am going to continue from where I left off, telling you about how my father came for me the second time and then shipping me back to my grandmother, my wicked grandmother, me running away from my wicked grandmother to my other aunties. From there, what happened next? To continue with that, so once I was taken back home, taking me back to the customer that I took the money from, bringing me back home to where we were living, and all the biddings and all that, well, that has not just ended there. So things started as normal. I'm not going to school. I'm just, as a house girl, doing every work possible to satisfy my grandmother. So it got to a point, it happened so that I think she got tired of me. Where my father was living with my first aunt, there is another aunt that also came and started living in the same house. So it became like a family house. That's what it is. We still have that house there in Accra. As things were going, doing all the selling, helping with the house chores, we cleaned the room like 10 times. If my grandmother went to take a bath, you make sure that you clean that room, mop it before she comes back from taking her bath. Because if she steps on a little sand, if her feet step on anything on the floor, you are in trouble. The beatings never end. I told you about one of my uncle that came back from jail. I don't know what he did. He was a soldier, came back. He was jailed for something he did. And so he came back from jail and we became the punching bag for him because he need to train. I don't know. So we were the trainers who carry our mat. The bed that we sleep on is just a straw mat. You can see those mostly in Ghana. You just lay it down and sleep on it. Put something, a cover on it, or you can just lay on it like that. It's a little stiff, but if that's all you have, you will manage to sleep on it. It comes with different sizes, the thickness and all that. And the one we had were just a flat one, very, very flat one. You sleep on it. It's just a little cushion between you and the floor or the ground. So you roll it, you can roll it just like a mat or maybe area rag. The size is almost like that, a little bit larger. So you can roll it. So when we roll it, I'll carry one end on my head and then my other cousin will carry the other end on her head. And he will be singing some type of the military training song. And then we'll be just marked down. We'll be doing that mark down. And that's what he does to us. Because maybe we have done something wrong or he just feel like doing it because we are expendable, right? We are expendable. I am expendable. So he did that to us. We'll be just marked down like a training. And he does that to us till he's satisfied. We'll be crying. He'll be whipping us. If our feet are not going back and forth quickly, like a soldier or like a training, you are on a training ground being trained. If our feet are not marking down quickly, he will beat us. He will do that to us for so many times. We'll be crying. Oh my world. What a world. What a life. He does that to us so many times till he gets tired. Then he will ask us to stop. Or sometimes they will just ship us back to go to my aunt. Mostly it's me. Go back to your aunt. So I'll go back to where my father was living with my other aunt. And it so happens that one of my aunts also moved into the same house. So I was going between her and then the other aunt. My father is still in the house. He doesn't care. So it so happened that I happen to be living with this new aunt now at the house. So guess what? From frying pan to fire. This second aunt has a husband who was a teacher because he also passed away. And so if we did something wrong, a ruler, a measuring ruler that you use, the teachers use or you use for school and things like that, that's what he used to beat us. And the way he does it is we use our hands, our fingernails like this. This is how we do it like that. And then he will use the ruler to beat us here. Can you imagine? The pain on the nerves here are very, very painful. But this is what he used the ruler to hit our fingers like that, here. And by the time he's done 6, 7 times, 12 times, very hard, there is blood. You can see the blood all over our fingertips like this, the blood. And the pain, somebody hits you on here. Even if something hits the nerves here, something hits your fingernail here, right here. The pain. And to use a ruler, the edge, the flat edge of the ruler to hit, not the flat one, the edge to hit us like that. That's what he does to us. Especially me. I was the only one living with them. And that's what this guy also does. Like I said, they are born with the same mother, the same father. Their mother is a wicked woman, maltreating us. What do you think the children are? Right? The children are also the same. So these aunties, which are all from my father's side, are also maltreating, cruelty. The second aunt, sometimes we don't even eat like my grandmother does to us. So that continues for a while. I can't even tell you how long. My father is not home. He goes to work in the morning, come home in the night. So whatever is happening, and you don't even dare to complain because they'll say you are a liar. Oh, you are a liar. You are lying. Nothing like that happened. So who do you even complain to? The outsiders sees you. They see what they are doing to you, but they can't say anything because I'm not their child, right? So that continues for a while. So it got to a point, it was just too much. So I'll live with them maybe 2 months. Then they will ship me back to my grandmother a month, ship me back to this aunt another month. It was just rolling. And then I finally found some of my mother's side family in Accra. So I'll run to them sometimes during the day to go and eat. Sometimes I try to stay with them, but they will push me. They say, no, I can't stay with them because they will be looking for me that I'm lost or I'm missing. So I'll have to go back home. It was just back and forth. Life was so treacherous. And so finally, one day I decided to run away again. This is the third time that I'm running away again. And I did. Even if I run away, I don't go any far. I know where I am. I know where I'm living. I know I can go back home, but I just pretend that I don't know. And this time it would just be like maybe 10 buildings between us, 10 houses, the same area, but just in a different section. That if you are not looking for the person, you don't know the person lives there, you wouldn't know. It was like a little kiosk or a little shelter where these people, they are like a community vigilant or community protectors. So they are there in case a child is missing or a child lost, they don't know where they are or they found them, and then they will try to look for who this person's child is. So I just so happened that day I said I'm lost, and I wandered there. I said I'm lost. They asked me where I came from. I told them where I came from, where I was living. I said I don't know where I was living, and I really knew where I was living. I knew I can just walk and go home, but I just doesn't want to go. I miss my mom so much. I just want to go back to my mother. How can I do that? My father is not going to take me. None of my aunties are going to take me. They don't even care. And so I did that for almost 5 days. I stayed there. They fed me in the morning. When day breaks, they bring me food. It's just the hunger. The hunger was what was pushing me away. The maltreatment, the beatings and all that, I'm taking it. Those, I'm taking them. But the hunger is what kills me. So when I was pretending to be lost, sometimes I saw some of our church members passing by because it's a little area where they sell food. There are a lot of sellers sell all types of food you can just buy. Instead of going to the full market, you can just walk there and buy what you need. So it's just a small section of place where people sell. So I can see some of our church members passing by, and then I will just pretend I don't see them. I hide because the word was spread in the church that they know me very well, going to church all the time, that I'm missing again. So everybody's on the lookout for me. So I was hiding from them. If I see them, I hide. One time, one of them saw me, I think the 4th day, he says, you look familiar. And I just walk away like I didn't know that person. I knew that person very well from church. And so I stayed there for 5 days. They said, these people, they said, well, we're going to look for your parents. I told them all the story. I said I was living with my aunt, my grandmother. I'm missing. I don't know where I was living. I don't know where I am. And I very knew where I was. But I just told them because I just want them to take me back home. And they say, yes, we'll take you back to your mother. and I didn't know then that that was just things to make me happy as a child. I didn't know. So on the fifth day, my actual aunt, the one that I ran away from, the second one, the husband, was passing by. And he just happened to pass by the kiosk, the shelter that I was. And he said, "Oh my goodness, Naomi, we've been looking for you." And I knew it's not going to be good. So he told them that they know me, I'm living with them. And then they told him all the story, that she's been missing. She said she doesn't know where she lives. She can't find her way home. We've been also searching to see where we can find where I was living, my guardians and all that. And he knew that I know where I was living. I can go home. And so finally they released me to him. And one of the person that I was staying with came with us to make sure that I was going to where they said I was. So she came with us, and then they took me home. And I knew after that it's not going to be good news. The beatings, oh my goodness, I had it. They beat me to the point I have marks. If I show you my tie, there is marks, a cane mark. I have mark on my arms. Here, I still have them. I still have marks. It's fading a little, but it's still there. My ties, I still have the mark. It's like a mark like that. It's on my tie. I still have it. So those are all reminds me of all the things that I went through. After the beating, I was not given food. Well, I was fed before they found me that morning. So I wasn't that hungry, but like you found a child that was missing. Oh, happy? No. After the lady left, I was beating so bad. So bad. My skin, from the blood of the crack that I had from the cane, the marks, I was bleeding. My skin was bleeding from the beating. Oh my word. And then right after that, they said, "Go and fetch water." And I have to fill that tank 15 times, 20 times. I have to go crying. My soul is crying. I'm crying within myself. If you see my whole face, tears, but I have to go and fetch water. That's what happened. So that continues for a while. And then one day, so this auntie, that is the second one, she sells food on the roadside. And she sent us one day to go and buy fish. They have a fish place where you have to queue in line till they open. We were there in line one day. I don't know what happened. There was a guy came and said, "Oh, because there's a long line, give me your money. I'll go and buy the fish for you." It was I and one of my cousins. He said, "Oh, we'll buy the fish for you." We didn't know the guy was going to scam us. We were very young. We don't know much about scammers or thieves. So this guy, we gave the money to him. We were waiting. When they opened the store, everybody bought their fish was gone. We were there waiting for this guy. We didn't know. He just took our money. Guess what is going to happen? We were there. My aunt was waiting for the fish for food to sell. And she finally came after us. And we told her the story. Oh my goodness. He held both of our head. He held my head, held my cousin's head, and then he crashed it. Boom. Both of our head together. Crash. Oh my goodness. I've never felt anything like that before. So the pain, it's like our brain was shook in our head. Oh my goodness. That's how she hold both of our head and then like that together. Oh my goodness. The pain. I didn't even know I'll be alive today from that pressure alone. I didn't know I'll be alive today. And then after that, she marched us home, beat us more. So that was it. But I can't even tell you the nitty-gritty of the experience I have, the cruelty, the bad experience I had from my father's side of the family. So now I am just become like a housemaid, house girl, doing all sorts of things, going from this place, my aunt, to my grandmother, to my father. It's just back and forth, roaming around. Just that. One day they sent me to go just around the area to go and buy food. It was just on the roadside. And I don't know what happened. I saw a bicycle. Somebody is riding a bicycle. The person was coming and I didn't know what happened and I was hit. The guy hit me with the bicycle. He ran over me. I am lucky to be alive. The guy ran over my head. He ran. I don't know how it happened, but he rode on my head like that with the bicycle. And because our roads were not paved, they were not coated, they are just a muddy, rough road. They are not tarred. So when he hit me like that, my jaw here like this. Even if you can see, I have a big, you can see right here. Yeah, that is a big gouge. It just cut open. Blood, the blood. No, I didn't know what happened. I saw me being hit by the bicycle. That's it. I didn't know what happened next until all I know is I could not talk. They put a plaster or something there for me at home. I woke up at home because I didn't know what happened after that. I didn't know how I was carried there. I don't know. So they didn't take me to the hospital. They just leave me at home, do what they can for me. And I could not talk. I could not walk. I cannot do anything. My head. And I think that was like 2 days. The third day, a miracle happened. A miracle happened in my life. And there was my mom. I think my soul has been calling her all this while. My being has been calling my mom. I think when the thing happened, I might have called her spiritually. On the third day, my mom came. My mom came and she yelled. Father said, "What happened to her? What happened? Did you take her to the hospital?" I said, "No." My mom carried me at her back. We have a clinic. There is a clinic in a walking distance. She carried me at her back, take me to the clinic. Before, the third day before they put a stitch on the wound, a third day before they put a stitch under my chin here on the wound. My mom came. I was living with human beings. My father is there. My aunties are there. 2 aunties are there. But none of them took me to the hospital. It was my mom who came so many miles because my soul was just crying out for her. And she came, took me to the hospital, gave me the stitches. And then she stayed for a week because she doesn't want to take me traveling because they have to take the stitches out after 3 days. They said we have to come back to take the stitches out. So she stayed with me for 5 days. We went back, they took the stitches out, and the 5th day, she took me back home, back to Bando, to where I was before my father came for me the second time. She took me back, and that was it. And I did not come back to see my father until I finished college. This is it. That's what I have experienced as a child. It has been a permanent pain that I have. I have it. I still have it because it's part of me. I cannot get rid of it. I cannot close my eyes and then all the pain, all the experience, all the cruelty disappeared. Wish I could, but I cannot. And that has lived with me all my life. And it has given me some perspective of life. And that's why I am always humbled. It doesn't matter where I am because it taught me a lesson in life. So the maltreatment of my childhood, this is where I'll leave it. It's just the basic. I didn't go nitty-gritty. This would have been just too long. So this is it. This is my life experience as a child from my childhood, which has left a permanent memories for me that I can't shake it off. I wish I can shake it off and it's gone, but I cannot. It's part of me and I try to use that to guide me in everything that I do. And I hope this has been some type of inspiration for you. If you have any child living with you, if you are a foster parent to a child, if you are a guardian to a child, don't take them for granted. Don't maltreat them. Destroy their lives. If it wasn't for God's grace, if it wasn't for God's mercy for me, I don't even know where I'll be. I don't even know I'll be alive today. With all the things that I've gone through as a child, the last one to be hit by this bicycle, if my mom hasn't appeared at that moment, what do you think will happen to me? Will I still be alive today? Will I still be alive? And you see the mark? It's a reminder. It reminds me all the time. I can't get rid of it. You see, that's not how a normal chin is. That's been so many years since my childhood, but you see, I still have it. Yeah, I still have it. So it's a permanent damage, a permanent memories that does not go away. It's not one of those things you want a child to have as a memory. You want them to have good memories about you. You want them to remember you wherever they are because of the good things you did for them, because of how you helped them grow, because of all the good things you taught them or you teach them to grow to become a good human beings, to be a good person, to have a good life. But if you maltreat them, even if you did something good for them, the only things they will remember will be the bad things, as I'm sharing with you today. So treat all kids equally. Don't choose one over other. Don't choose one because these parents are better than these ones. Treat them all equally, and you will see the benefits you will reap when they grow. Some will not remember you, but that doesn't matter. You did your part because you taught them the right things. Teach them how to be a good person, and that will carry them throughout their whole life. And that will leave a mark on them that, oh, whoever raised you well. So don't maltreat them. I give you this so you can see that anything you do to a child today will live with them forever, whether good or bad. So that is my experience. I hope this has been some inspiration. If you are watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and wherever you watch your podcast. This video podcast is just me taking you through my journey of life to where I am now. And so I think this is the end of my childhood story. As time goes on, if it comes up in something that I'm saying, that's it. But for now, we come to the end part of my childhood. There is more, but I'll just leave it as here because we have more important things to be talking about life, about our businesses, and what we are doing to stay focused in life, to meet our goals, to see the possibilities of great things that can happen in our lives. And that's what I'm here to share with you, and all the little things that makes it happen. All right, so I will see you on my next episode. Stay blessed, and I hope your day goes well and everything that you do. Bye-bye.